traders? How are you doing? My name is Matt Menster. I am the founder of Trade the Grade, and I've got an explosive story for you here today. But it's not on a stock that you might associate with big upside in the future. It's actually on a trucking company. So let's get right into it. And of course, this is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. Okay. So let's take a look at the chart. You can see this is a weekly chart of a stock, HTLD Heartland Express. It is a trucking company that has gotten pretty much, I don't want to say hammered, but definitely has been on a steady bleed lower over the last several years. You can see here all the way back in 2022, this was a $27 stock. It is now a $10 stock. But as you can see on this chart, something is going on. There's quite a rush to accumulate shares of the stock, as evidenced by these weekly candlesticks. The first one was here in late November. And now to start the new year, the trend has continued. So you might ask yourself, well, why? Is this just a run-of-the-mill bounce in the stock? Is it just short covering? Or is it something more? Could it be the start of a multi-week, multi-month, or maybe even a 2 or 3 year sharp uptrend in the stock? That's what we're going to help you figure out in this video so that you can make a decision for yourself. So now that we've seen the chart, let's go over and figure out what exactly the catalyst is and what Wall Street thinks might be on the cusp of happening for this particular stock. So HTLD is a trucking stock, right? So on January 5th, you can see here inside Trade the Grade, I'm logged in, and this is January 5th. So this is this past Monday. If I go over here and I find this, what I did is I went and I typed in HTLD right here and I hit search. So it pops up right here, and you can see the upgrade was January 5th. It was a price target range from 8 to 12. An A setup, so our setup grade tool over here rates this as an A setup, which is tremendously helpful if you're looking for actions from analysts that are actually, worth your attention, opposed to upgrades and downgrades that usually don't materialize into any meaningful price action in the stock. Okay, so it was a price range from $8 to $12, and also an upgrade from level 3 neutral to level 4 outperform. All right, so now that we have that information, what I like to say is, well, I know it's a price raise. I know it's an upgrade. What the rationale was for this analyst to make this upgrade. I want to know why. Some people don't. I do. Maybe you're like me. If that's the case, then what I want you to do is look at what Gemini, the AI bot from Google, has to say about this. So if you're not sure about details of something, it's always good to check and see what AI says. And by the way, we're working on implementing this right inside Trade the Grade. That's coming soon. But I just asked Gemini about this, and basically what it said is that HTLD could be the leading trucking stock in 2026 in so many words. And here's why. This is very interesting, guys. Okay, so Bear, the analyst the firm that we just talked about that did this upgrade on January 5th, Heartland was hammered over the last 2 years because their trucking business relies on the spot market, which had been depressed because a lot of mom and pop operators were in the trucking business. Now, since insurance rates and other things had basically skyrocketed in the last 2 years, a lot of those mom and pop trucking businesses have exited. So you have a situation where supply is now matched up with demand instead of there being more supply than there is demand. So that gives you an environment where spot trucking rates can actually go higher, which benefits, obviously, a company that's tied to the spot market rate. And HTLD is the trucking company, at least according to this analyst, that has the most exposure to the spot market rate. All right. So if you look at the chart now, with that in mind, it kind of makes sense to you as to why this stock is catching a bid. But here's the thing. This is a recent change. This is a recent turnaround story. So if you've ever followed any kind of turnaround in a publicly traded company, it can go higher for a lot longer than just a few weeks. This turnaround could last all throughout 2026 and easily into 2027 and beyond. So as a trader, I'm looking at that and thinking to myself, do I want to be looking at this as a potential long? Do I want to get in now? Do I want to scale in? Do I want to wait for a dip? But At the end of the day, what you have is a situation where you have a tradable opportunity because now you know the situation, you know the story behind the story. And you're not going to get that just from looking at an indicator, guys. You're going to get that from knowing what Wall Street thinks and potentially what may be happening in the underlying business of this particular company or any company that's either upgraded or downgraded. Okay, so if you guys want to find out more about how Trade the Grade can help you find actionable opportunities like this, and by the way, I share all my thoughts like this in the Discord here for members at Trade the Grade. You can see other members here posting their ideas. And this guy's Paladin TX was posting how he's done really well with looking at the recommendations and generating his own ideas from the platform. So if you guys want to experience it for yourself, if you're not afraid to get in here and take a look at things for yourself, then go ahead and tap the button on the bottom of this video. Go to the next page and fill out the form, and you guys will not regret it. Okay, so really appreciate you guys watching this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and like this video. It'll definitely help get this video into more traders' feeds so they can benefit from a tool just like this. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks so much. We'll see you on the next one.